good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you an overhead shot of the Lambo back road there that leads onto the old road, right where those guys usually sell fish. If you know what I'm talking about right there, take a good look. And so you see that there is a TN-Tech truck that's in the middle of the road and that's doing some work there on an overhead line. So for the persons who usually take the back road to get away from the congestion on the main road, that may not be possible for you this morning. Cars are being turned back. You see the cones that are in the middle of the road there, and so that particular area on the back road, the old road, is cordoned off and persons are not able to pass there. So if you have been thinking, or if that is a part of your usual route to get away from the traffic on the Cloudnell Highway, unfortunately that cannot happen for you this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversation, and we are talking a bit about the Windward Afro Queen Show. And to have that conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of chatting with Miss Kina McMillan, who is a committee member and is in charge of hospitality for the pageant. Good morning again and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Excellent. So, we are no stranger to the Windward Afro Queen Show. Tell us a bit about what's happening this year particularly, and what can persons look forward to.
Okay then. Well, last year they had moved the Windward Afro Queen Show to a Wednesday. I guess they were experimenting, and they listened to the persons of the Windward side and said we want it back on a Saturday. So it's back on Saturday. We have 9 contestants, and we expect it to be a wonderful show.
Excellent. And you are 9 contestants. I know usually there's a particular theme that's represented for the Windward Afro Queen Show that is quite Afrocentric.
Yes.
Focused on African roots. What is the theme this time around, and what are the women representing, or who are the women representing?
Yes. So this year's theme is Jewel of the West, from grit to pure gold. The contestants, they randomly picked the numbers that they will go in order, and the region in Africa alongside with the jewel that signifies that region.
Okay, and so what exactly are the young women expected to portray as it pertains to each region? Is it that they are expected to highlight some of the cultural aspects of the countries that they represent, or help to educate the public on the particular jewel that they are representing? Give us a greater level of understanding, specifically for the persons who are really unaware of the intricacies of the Windward Afro Queen shows.
Okay then. For example, contestant number 1, she is Miss Job. She is Nigeria. So with that, she has her particular jewel, right? So for the casual wear, they will more focus on the region. So we'll have probably a map, we will have something that relates them. So the young ladies had to do some research themselves. So this in itself is helping them. Yes, this is her here, Kyra Job from the Goodwood Police Youth Club. She is representing Nigeria. And then you have the gown that will reflect the jewel. So the gown will now reflect if it's gold or salt or oil. Yeah, that's how it's going to be run on.
Okay, excellent. Tell us a bit about how the women were chosen to represent their clubs or areas within this particular pageant. Was there a call for participants, a screening? What was the process like? Was it a very rigorous process, or was it quite easy for the women? What were they expected to present or show in order to get into the competition?
Well, due to elections, I think that kind of delayed the process. However, it was sent out to the various groups in Tobago from Charleville straight down, right? So we sent them the invitation of the screening. They all represented. All 9 got through because they were uniquely just themselves, and they brought something different, and they were of the ages of 17 to 30, because we carried up the age for that it's a difference because there are persons who want to take part in it and they say, oh, I'm too old. So we just changed it this year. We tweaked the age and yeah, they all came out. We couldn't even deny them.
Right. Tell us a bit about the jewelry that the women are wearing in this particular photo shoot.
Yes, this was sponsored by Camille Khan. She sponsored them, the photo shoots, and she will also be giving them again, sponsoring for the night of the Queen Show.
Tell us a bit about some of the partners for this particular Windward Afro Queen Show.
Well, it's with Tobago festivals, of course. They're going to do more the stage production and all this. The committee members are more so to reach out to the vendors. We are there for the contestants, of course, and making sure the show runs smoothly.
And again, this is happening on Valentine's Day.
Yes,
this
on
is
Valentine's
happening
Day.
on
Yes,
Saturday the 14th
at
Sid Gray Complex at 7 p.m.
Yes.
sharp. We see that you have some guest performances as well.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that, the entertainment aspect of it.
Skinny Fabulous, he will be there. We have one more to confirm, so we have to look out on the Windward Carnival page for more information about that, but Skinny Fabulous is going to be there for sure.
Excellent. And so persons within that area, persons in the east, even in the west,
yes,
are expected to come out and play a part and be a part of all of this celebration that's happening as a part of the overall national carnival that's happening here on the island of Tobago. Tell us a bit about the reigning Miss Windward Afro Queen. What has some of her duties been throughout the year? And how do you foresee that transition in terms of the new queen taking on that crown and actually doing events within the community, being engaged? So tell us about that aspect of it.
Well, this committee is new. We want the committee from last year, right? So when we were told Miss Walker, unfortunately she's in Trinidad, so the transition because of the boat and all these things, it was hard for her to come. But we are in constant conversation with her. I'm not sure if she'll be able to come on Saturday, but we had open conversations with her and so forth. So I can't tell you exactly her roles throughout the year, but I will foresee the person who wins this year will be more involved in the community, more so in Carnival, because they did a workshop as well, a cultural workshop, etiquette training, so the girls will be ready for whomever is the winner.
Right. And so what role do you see that new Afro Queen playing as it pertains to, you know, possible ambassadorship for the Tobago Carnival? Would they be a part of doing some of those promotions for the October Carnival? Tell us about that level of involvement and why is it important to have them a bit more engaged with the crown this time around?
Most definitely, because for me, I would say personally for me, I think that the conversation now the winner will have to have with the Secretary of Tourism on where they could partnership. Because I see them, because of the education they have and each girl being uniquely themselves and educated, they will be able to, as you said, highlight the Tobago Carnival, probably go to different functions, social media itself, promoting the island and so on.
Excellent. Tell us a bit about the actual logistics for the event in terms of parking and where persons can be for those who have never attended the Windward Afro Queen Show and they're looking to figure out how it's going to happen. In addition to vendors, can vendors still register to vend at the event, or is that already closed off? Tell us a bit about the logistical aspect of it.
Okay, well, unfortunately, the vending has been closed. They sent out an ad on Tobago Festival's page, and persons send in their registration, and persons are successful. They got called, and they will be vending there. For car park, they have, the Sid Gray has a big car park, but we know it's going to be a big event. So we are saying the Renaissance area that's in the housing, you could park there as well. Roxborough Secondary has a big parking. You might just have to walk a little something, but it's still space. Roxborough has enough space to park.
All right, excellent. And are you expecting a large crowd to come out for this particular event on Saturday?
Yes, I would say this because people are excited about it. It's changed from Wednesday back to Saturday. The youths are so in tune with social media. There's a People's Choice going on right now, and it's blowing up. And that will finish tomorrow at Friday about 12 o'clock. So, and you're seeing the engagement. So I expect a big crowd, and some of these young ladies have 14 siblings, so you expect all family members are going to come out there.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back chatting more about the Windward Afro Queen show that's happening this Saturday at the Sidgri Complex at 7 p.m. Something that you definitely don't want to miss. Just in case you were wondering how you were going to spend your Valentine's, you do not have to spend it alone. Actually, you can spend it with friends and family, having a great time at the Windward Afro Queen show. Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon. Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Shenell Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at is an overhead shot of the Claude Noel Highway right at the Orkinscure roundabout, right there at the Republic Bank on the highway there. And as you can see, there's a bit of a slow movement of traffic that's heading toward east. There's a slight pileup we're seeing right on the roundabout itself, heading toward east, toward the Scarborough area. And we don't know, maybe it could be as a result of the fact that persons are being diverted from the Lambo main road. So when they get onto that Lambo main road, inevitably having to turn around and go back around that roundabout again in order to go towards Scarborough. Because as you know, if you are exiting Lambo right here on the Claude Noel Highway at the Belgrove's Funeral Home, there's no way to turn right. You have to turn left. So persons are, going left and going around the roundabout to go to Scarborough. And so you can see that there's that back road being cordoned off there because of the work that's being done on the back road. So if you are traversing the highway at this time, as you can see, there's a bit of a pileup happening because persons are unable to use that Lambo back road as freely as they usually do to get away from the congestion on the highway. And so you would know that this is quite an irregular time to see such a pileup happening all the way down to Orkinscure from the highway. Just shows you how pivotal that back road is in easing some of the congestion that's happening, or that usually happens during this time on the Claude Noel Highway. We see a little bit of a pileup happening going towards both east and west, a high indication that there's the inability to use that back road. And ladies and gentlemen, we return with our conversation this morning, and as we round up, we are still chatting about the Windward Afro Queen show, and we are letting you know exactly where you can get your tickets with Miss Kina McMillan.
Yes, so in the east side, you could get your tickets at Pablo's Supermarket in Argyle from this evening. And in the west, you could go to the Shore Park Complex. Tickets are $100 for adults, $50 for children.
Right. And as it pertains to seating, persons should walk with their umbrellas. What are we doing?
The complex is covered, but we also have a giveaway for the biggest crew. So the crew members, if you don't have space there, you might stay at the sidelines to watch the show, but I assure you it's going to be a good one, so we expect everyone to come out.
Right, and with the unpredictability of the weather these days, I would walk with my umbrella if I were you, or at least have an umbrella in the car.
Yes. And
so we are going to come out and have a great time. I'm not sure if we would be broadcasting the show here, but I really hope to see a successful Afro Queen show that's happening this year. We want to say a special thank you and congratulations to the committee that has been putting in the work to ensure the success of this event, along with the Tobago Festivals Commission and the Division of Tourism. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to come out and support the 9 young ladies that would be in the competition on Saturday. That's 9 young ladies representing West Africa, is it? The West African countries. And so we have a number of countries being on display there. I see you have Libya, I see Nigeria, I see Ghana, I see Benin, I see Togo, a number of different countries, and I know you must see someone or a face that you are familiar with.
Yes.
And we are encouraging you to, whether you know the young ladies or not, just come out and support them and let them know that they have your support. Encourage them as they step forward and, you know, with that level of bravery to represent their community, their groups, and Tobago on a whole, because this is really the beginning of, you know, a bright future for many of them, giving them that level of exposure to the stage, you know, to public speaking, to demonstrating who they are, their capacity, their talents. And so we also look forward to seeing a number of the designs that will be presented in those evening gowns, really showcasing Tobago's talent. Anyway, as we round off our discussion this morning, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers looking on before we go?
I just want to remind you again, Saturday, 14th, we are at the Sid Gray Complex at 7 p.m. Come out and support these young women. We have Dalaford, Lewiston, Argyle, Mount St. George, Mason Hall, the Lance Family Prisons group. We have Goodwood Police Youth Group. I hope I'm not forgetting. I'm trying to run. But yes, we have the different villages. So come out and support the girls. They are really excited. Most of them has never been on a stage before. So we want you to come out and support them. And it's expected to be a good one.
Right. And don't forget you have soca artists like Skinny Fabulous. And maybe even another surprise guest. You never know. It's something that you definitely want to come out and be a part of. Bring your friends, your family, and come out. Make it a date. Do not be late. You want to be there for the entire show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end our discussions this morning. We want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Shenell Felix, and have a great day.
Tobago Update.